Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So if you haven't already guessed it by the intro there, we're going to talk about this guy here, the Minn Kota PowerDrive. I'm going to kind of give you how I got it set up, and then I'm going to give you the pros and cons of this particular unit. I've used it, I've been using it now for about a year, and it's got some good and it's got some bad. So let's start with just the specs on the trolling motor itself. So this is a 60-inch shaft, 70-pound iPilot version. I went with the longer shaft because it can get pretty windy and some of these lakes can get pretty nasty, and it's already paid off several times this year in real windy lakes and rivers, where you really have that bow rise, right? And it helps keep that trolling motor down in the water. You've got the little nut adjuster here, so you can adjust it up and down if you don't want it down that far. But for the most part, I leave it about where it is. It's about a foot from the head of the unit, and it seems to work out pretty good. So a couple of things that I've done on this trolling motor in particular to make it a little bit easy to use, I'll show you here. So first comes with the precision sonar mounts. I'll show you what those are here. These little mounts here are from Precision Sonar. It's actually not for this PowerDrive unit. It's for a different unit, so they fit good, but I had to do a little finagling to get them to fit right. And basically what that is it comes with these little mounts, and then this coil. It's just a hollow plastic wire where you feed your transducer wire through so it doesn't get tangled up. And that runs all the way up, obviously, to the head of the unit. And then here, and then I've got the other sonar cable just bunched up at the top. These do a really nice job from keeping you from tearing up your transducer cables. And speaking of transducers, so I run, we'll go back over here just for a second. I run these Garmin units. And so I have the side imaging, down imaging transducer on here. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about side imaging on the front of the boat, but it has been a really valuable piece of equipment this year. You know, it's not as good as like a 360 or a Panoptix, but once you learn how to use it, it does a really good job of locating fish. So it's been worth its weight in gold. Set this back down over here. Sorry about the shaky video. So that's kind of how I have it set up. So let's talk about the pros and cons. So, you know, I guess pros, you know, 70-pound is ample enough to move the boat. Full out, it moves at about 3 miles an hour, which is plenty fast. You know, I used to have an 80-pound on here, and that gave it a little bit more oomph, but I haven't really noticed a giant need, even when it's real windy or current, big current situations. It's been all right. There have been a few moments where I wish I would have had a little bit more powerful, but it saves me the weight on batteries, only running 2 batteries on a 24-volt system, so that's helped a little bit. The iPilot, I can't fish without it, and I think once you get used to fishing with the iPilot, it's priceless. Like, they could probably charge $1 million for that piece of equipment itself, and I'd probably pay it. You know, with the iPilot, it locks you in a location within like a 4-foot circle. Windy doesn't matter, current doesn't matter, holds you right there. So, you know, when you find fish and you're really on them, you can lock right in that spot and just make those repetitive casts over and over again. And that really helps land more fish. So iPilot to me is indispensable. I'll never own another trolling motor without it. That being said, brings me to the con of the trolling motor, one of them. No foot pedal. All you have is the standard iPilot remote. And I did not know that when I purchased this particular unit, that you cannot put a foot pedal on it. it's frustrating because when I bought it, I was not informed of that, and I you know, some of that's my own fault, right? Like I have to take accountability on the fact that I didn't do enough research. I just assumed, and again, my fault, that if you spend $1,500 on a trolling motor, you're going to have a foot pedal with it or be able to get a foot pedal with it. I knew it didn't have a foot pedal, but from everything I read, you were able to put one on. Unfortunately, not the case. So no foot pedal option. You buy the foot pedal and you plug it in and you can't use it. And again, you can on some power drives, but it's the power drives that are co-pilot only that you can use the foot pedal on. The ones that come factory with iPilot, there is no foot pedal option without doing a bunch of jerry rigging on it to make it work. So that's one of the cons. I've gotten used to it, but just not ideal. I use the remote a lot anyways, but it's nice in certain situations to have that foot pedal, and to not have that option is just frustrating. It makes it a little harder to fish. So second con, I'm gonna grab this here and I'm gonna zoom in on this spot here and show you the most frustrating part about this. So right here is a little knuckle, right? So you've got a squared off end here, open end here, which this little knuckle slides into. And that's how the motor turns it, right? Well, this is the second one I've had because the first one was involved in a slight accident. These tabs constantly break. Extremely frustrating that the build quality on these little tabs are as poor as they are. Now, I will say that I'm a little hard on my equipment, but I haven't been hard on the trolling motor at all. I baby it down. I don't run into rocks. Like you can see on the bottom of my trolling motor, all the paint's still there. I don't beat it up. And those little plastic tabs, for them to break off like they do, is super disappointing. So I know Minn Kota's probably not watching, or people from Minn Kota probably aren't watching, but if you are, you need to refine that. That is a terrible design, and it's not durable at all. Like I said, it's the second unit I've had on there, the second motor housing I've had on there where that tab is broke, and that's super, super frustrating because it disrupts when you turn. Sometimes that tab lifts up or moves out of the way and it clicks over the top of it and doesn't turn the motor. So that needs a new design. I'm going to try and fix that, but I don't know how well I'm going to fix it. It's a cheap part, easy to replace, but I shouldn't have to replace multiple collars throughout the year when I spend that much on a trolling motor. So that's kind of it. You know, in a nutshell, it's, you know, good value, right? $1,500, not much to spend on a good 24 volt system. Some durability issues for me, and then just some design things that I think could be changed. I'm going to get rid of this next year. I'm not going to run this unit again. I am going to probably go back to the Tarova or possibly the Ultrex or the Altera. We'll see what happens. Either way, it's got to have an iPilot type system. Now, whether I go to Motor Guide or another company like that, I don't know. But this one's definitely going bye-bye. You know, and they have their place, right? I think it's made for a walleye boat. Somebody that wants to control it from somewhere other than the bow of the boat. I thought I could get by with it after I bought it. I did call the place I bought it from, and they didn't allow any returns, which kind of sucked. I won't mention who they are, but they won't get any more of my business. And I go in there a lot. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Just a short little overview of this. I had a buddy that had recommended I do a video on launching alone. So I've got a video prepared for that as well. Until next time, guys, thanks for all the support. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are very, very close to being monetized, so I need your help sharing this out. But I appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me. It means the world to me. I couldn't do this without you. Tight lines, guys. We'll see you soon.